ब्रजभूमि से वृंदावन धाम की, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी देवी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, इस्कॉन ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, परम विजयते श्री कृष्ण संकीर्तन की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Ki jai. Gopeshwar Mahadev ki. Shivaratri Mahotsav ki. Jai. Guru.
Everyone, please be seated. Please turn your cell phones off in silent mode. Please help me welcome His Holiness Swami Maharaj. Maharaj is a dear friend of our community. Maharaj spends a few visits in Houston and we're always very grateful. Maharaj, with his down-to-earth, funny and loving ways to teach us, is always appreciated. So hopefully you will pay attention to it. And if you have young children that are not so comfortable, please make sure you provide comfort. If I say that, they will choke me. Yeah.
I get in trouble because people. Oh, that's like Hiranyakashipu coming out of the pillar. Whatever it is, it is. We're not going to touch it. No, it's good. What the heck is going on? No, there's a short. Yeah, maybe turn it off the volume. Can you turn off the volume? Just. Hare Krishna. Modern technology fails once again. Hare Krishna. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijanna Vallabha Giribharadari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopijanna Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Privijakacharya Astu Tadasatashi Shiman. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Iskcon's BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Pramse Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Maya Purnava Dvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Yagna Ki Jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for attending tonight's program. Is there anyone here tonight for the first time? Please raise your hand. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Anyone else here for the first time? How did you find out? How did you find out about the program? Huh? Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. In order to avoid the mass movement of the people moving forward in a few minutes, maybe we should just all move forward now so that Chaitanya doesn't have to come through the crowd and get everybody moving. Don't worry, I'm a vegetarian. I haven't eaten anyone over 5 years old in a long time. Today we are celebrating Shiva Ratri, which was Friday, so we're having this Sunday celebration today. And There's so many verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam and many other Vedic literatures, but we focus on Srimad Bhagavatam, on the qualities of the Lord Shiva and the activities. So I reached out to the person who knows which verse to talk on, His Holiness Giriraj Swami, a very, very close friend of mine. So he said, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, yeah? The title of this chapter, Canto, yeah, creation of the fourth order. And this chapter is 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva. And this is text number 30. This verse exemplifies Lord Shiva's appreciation for the Vaishnavas. The story begins with the Prachetas going out to perform austerities, and they come in contact with Lord Shiva. So we'll read this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll just read it. I'll try to read the Sanskrit, or I'll try to read the Roman transliteration of the Sanskrit. See how I do. Ata Bhagavata Yujam Priyasta Bhagavan Yata Namad Bhagavatan Bhagavatam Cha Priyananyosti Karhichit. Translation. This is Lord Shiva speaking to the Prachetas. You are all devotees of the Lord. As such, I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of God Himself. Did everybody hear that? That Lord Shiva was telling the Prachetas, you are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate you that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. This is the nature of Vaishnava. They represent the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore they're as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me, and that I am dear to them. Thus no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. Should I read it again? What do you think? Yes. Okay. You are all devotees of the Supreme Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that the devotees also respect me, and that I am dear to them. Thus no one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. Srila Prabhupada's purport. It is said, Vaishnavanam yata sambhu. Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. Therefore, all devotees of Lord Krishna are also devotees of Lord Shiva. In Vrindavan, there is a Shiva temple called Gopeshwara. The gopis used to worship not only Lord Shiva, but Katyayani or Durga as well, but their aim was to attain the favor of Lord Krishna. A devotee of the Lord does not disrespect Lord Shiva, but worships Lord Shiva as the most exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. Consequently, whenever a devotee worships Lord Shiva, he prays to Lord Shiva to achieve the favor of Krishna, and he does not request any material profit. In the Bhagavad Gita 7:20, it is said that generally people worship demigods for some material profit. Kaimais tashtair hita jnana. That's a strong verse. Driven by material lust, they worship demigods, but a devotee never does so, for he is never driven by material lust. That is the difference between a devotee's respect for Lord Shiva and his asura, or demon's, respect for him. There's a difference between the respect of the devotee and the respect of the demon. Anybody remember what the difference is? A devotee he's never driven by material desire. And he worships Lord Shiva without any material desires to be achieved. His only desire is to achieve pure devotional service to Krishna. And because Lord Shiva, Maheshwara, is the greatest devotee of the Lord, he's the greatest Vaishnava. Therefore, we approach the great Vaishnavas to get the mercy so that we can understand the nature of Krishna and become closer and closer to Krishna. But the asuras, or the demons, they respect Krishna in a different way to get material desires fulfilled. The asuras worship Lord Shiva, take some benedictions from him, misuse the benedictions, and is ultimately killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who awards him liberation. Because Lord Shiva is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he loves all the devotees of the Supreme Lord. Lord Shiva told the Prachetas that because they were devotees of the Lord, he loved them very much. Lord Shiva was not kind and merciful only to the Prachetas. Anyone who is a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very dear to Lord Shiva. Not only are devotees dear to Lord Shiva, but he respects them as much as he respects the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Are we keeping up with the reading? I know sometimes it's hard to keep up with the reading. I hope that's not my phone. I don't want to be the one caught. Similarly, devotees of the Supreme Lord also worship Lord Shiva as the most dear devotee of Lord Krishna. They do not worship him as a separate personality of Godhead. It is stated in the list of nama aparadas that it is an offense to think that the chanting of the name of Hari and the chanting of Hara or Shiva are the same. The devotees must always know that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that Lord Shiva is his devotee. A devotee should be offered respect on the same level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and sometimes even more respect. That's how important devotees are. Indeed, Lord Rama, the Personality of Godhead himself, sometimes worshiped Lord Shiva. If a devotee is worshipped by the Lord, why should a devotee not be worshipped by other devotees on the same level with the Lord? This is the conclusion. From this verse it appears that Lord Shiva blesses the asuras simply for the sake of formality. Did you get that? Lord Shiva blesses the asuras, or the demoniac persons, simply for the sake of formality. Actually, he loves one who is devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shivaji ki jai. I have to offer respects to Srila Prabhupada. Om Agyantamadandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruminitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Paschatadesha Tarine. We thank Srila Prabhupada for opening up this understanding of the value of the Vaishnavas and the value of Lord Shiva in our worship of Krishna. You are all devotees of the Lord, and as such I appreciate that you are as respectable as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. I know in this way that devotees also respect me, and that I am dear to them. No one can be as dear to the devotees as I am. So this is our position. Sometimes when Iskcon was a new movement, we did not understand the function of the demigods. We had a little misunderstanding. We were a little bit fanatical, Krishna and only Krishna. And sometimes devotees would actually offend the demigods or offend those who were devotees of the demigods. I know there was some controversies many times. We had this. I'm also guilty of being a young devotee 45 years ago and misrepresenting the philosophy of Vaishnavism, in that we understand the demigods to be the administrators of this material universe. They have, just like if all of a sudden, if the governor of Texas walked in, we would all be very reverential for the governor just because of his position, or the mayor, or the president of any country, or anyone who had a respectable position that was known to us. We would automatically show respect to that person. So in the same way, the demigods are administrative caretakers of this material world. And as such, they're meant to be appreciated for their service to Krishna. Here it's described that, Vaishnavanam yata sambhu, Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. Therefore, all devotees of Lord Krishna are also devotees of Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva is the best devotee of Lord Krishna, we take shelter of Lord Shiva. As Srila Prabhupada explains in the next part of the purport, that in Vrindavan there's a temple called Gopishwara. The gopis used to worship not only Lord Shiva, but Katyayani or Durga as well. But there's a difference. Their aim was to attain the favor of Krishna. We know the stories in the 10th canto of the gopis worshipping Katyayani, and they were doing, that happens right after Damodar Leela. Now we have the Kartik Vrata, and then the next Vrata is Katyayani Vrata. Yeah? 1 month. And the gopis used to eat only, what was it called? It's just like rice and bean, or just something very simple with no spice or nothing, in order to get the favor of Katyayani, whom then they could ask, please, get us Krishna as a husband. Let us have Krishna as a husband. Because that was their relationship with Krishna. A devotee of Krishna does not disrespect Lord Shiva, but worships Lord Shiva as the most exalted devotee of Krishna. Consequently, whenever a devotee worships Lord Shiva, he prays to achieve the favor of Krishna and does not request material profit. Generally speaking, just like we have, did Prabhupada bring that up in the purport? Did he bring up Namab? Yes, he did. Okay. Myself, coming from the West, I didn't even know. The first time I heard about the demigods is one of my friends came back from Vietnam, and he told me that he wanted to be a demigod in his next life. I said, cool. I didn't know what it meant. That's the first time I heard the word demigod. Probably the first time he ever heard of him, because in North Dakota we don't hear about things like that. Apparently in Vietnam and South, that Asia, part of Asia, they worship demigods. They worship, and so he decided he wanted to be a demigod. I have no idea if he made it, but the devotees, they worship Krishna. I mean, they worship the demigods for no material profit, especially Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is very kind at giving benedictions very easily. Very easily gives benedictions. He has a name for that. Anybody know what the name of Lord Shiva? Huh? Ashutosh. Yeah, he gives benedictions very easy. And according to the purport, he gives benedictions to the Asuras only for the sake of formality. Thank you. Paying attention. Only for the sake of formality. Because he knows that material benedictions have no true value in this world. He understands the nature of the material world. And he knows that if whatever he gives, they're going to have to undergo certain austerities, certain penances, certain things are going to have to happen for that. But that's their lot. So he very easily gives those things. And he gives the benediction to the devotees also. Prabhupada quotes this verse 720 in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna's arrangement, I opened up to 722. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires. If your intelligence has been stolen by material desires, anybody ever experienced their desires, or their intelligence, being stolen by material desires? Somebody say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. So many material desires, isn't it? So many material desires. That those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow particular rules and regulations for worship according to their own natures. But Krishna says, I am in the heart of as the supersoul, and as soon as someone desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. So even the demigod worshippers, those who take shelter of the demigods, their ability to surrender to the demigods is given by Krishna. It is given by Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says, those who are freed from all material contamination surrender unto the Supreme Lord and engage in His devotional service. As long as the material contamination is not completely washed off, they are by nature non-devotees. They don't want to serve the Supreme Lord. When the heart is full of contamination, when the heart is mixed up with material desires, it becomes very, very hard to serve the Lord. Anybody ever experienced some interference? Kind of like the microphone when you first started the class, huh? A lot of crackling and screeching and, I guess, static is the word, huh? Crackling, static. The mind is always offering us so many opportunities to deviate from spiritual life. Unlimited desires stockpiled up in the heart. So driven by material desires, they worship the demigods according to the Bhagavad Gita. But the devotee is never driven by material desire. There's a nice verse where Krishna explained, Prakriti kriyamanani guna karmani sarvashaha ahankara vibhudatma kartaham iti manyate. That the bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of material energy, material modes and nature, considers himself to be the doer of activities which are in actuality just being pushed on us by the modes and material nature. In the commentary, Srila Prabhupada explains, two persons, please move forward so that other guests can come in. If you can move forward, I'll help Chaitanya out a little bit. He could actually get a job at an airport working on the tarmac. He knows how to direct the airplane. If he can direct the Hare Krishnas at the temple to move forward, he can direct the 747. So going back to Prakriti Kriyamanani, the bewildered spirit soul who is under the influence of the modes of material nature, considers himself to be the doer of activities which are actually being carried out by the modes of material nature. So we were discussing the two types of devotees, right? Two types of people. Those who are materially eager for sense gratification and those who are spiritually eager for the service of Krishna. There's two types, right? So Prabhupada explains in the commentary to this verse 327 that I just quoted, two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness. You see the two types of people? One in material consciousness and the other one in spiritual consciousness. Working on the same level. They're all making microphones, right? They're all working in the same factory. They're on the same level. May appear to be working on the same platform, but there's a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. They're doing the same thing in the factory, but there's a gulf of difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego. Remember that, because I'm going to give you a quiz. The person in material consciousness is convinced by... That quiz came pretty quick, didn't it? The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of the Lord. The person in false ego takes all credit for whatever he's doing independently, and that is a symptom of his ignorance. But the devotee working in the factory is simply serving Krishna. He's only there to serve Krishna. 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the whole question, because the 17th chapter, Krishna was describing austerities, penance, sacrifice, all these different things. So there's a question, if sacrifice, charity, and penances should be given up. So Krishna explains that these acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance, they purify even the great souls, like all of you, even the great souls, all of you. And they should be performed without attachment to any particular kind of result. So Krishna goes through and describes these activities, these charity, or sacrifice, and austerities, and the three modes in nature. And when he gets to the mode of goodness, he says that when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is in the mode of goodness. Does anybody want to achieve the mode of goodness? Somebody say Hare Krishna. Okay. So, in order to reach the mode of goodness and the mode for sacrifice, austerity, and penance, is that we do it because it's our prescribed duty. It has to be done. And we renounce association with the modes in nature and attachment to the fruits. Oh, that's tough. You know what that means, right? You have to write a check to Radha College. I'm in Dallas, Houston. Radha Nila Madhava. Wherever I'm at, it's the same. Would you like to hear the commentary? It's similar to the last one. A man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory. Anybody here have to go to work? Please raise your hand. Anybody here have a job? Okay, when you go to the job, when the word man is gender neutral, I'll change it. When a person working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate themselves with the work of the factory. When you go there, we don't associate with that. Nor with the workers. Even though we interact with them, we're not with them. He simply works for Krishna. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, they say, in the world, but not of the world. In the factory, but not in the factory. Of the factory, I guess you'd say, right? Yeah, out of the factory. And so this is our position in the material world. We see that we have to do all these activities. And so there's a difference between the devotee and the non-devotee, as being described in this purport. That because Lord Shiva is a great devotee, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he loves all the devotees. And Lord Shiva told the Prachetas, because they're devotees, he loved them very much. So we can imagine if the devotees of the Lord love the devotees, imagine what the Lord does. Every single devotee is very, very dear and special to Krishna. And every single person, every single living entity in this world, Krishna is desiring that you come back. Desiring that we come back. So not only are the devotees dear to Lord Shiva, but he respects them as much as he respects the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripasindhu bhevacha patitanam pavanevyo vaishnavevo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desire trees, can fill the desires of everyone, and their hearts are full of compassion for the fallen and conditioned souls. This is the nature of the Vaishnavas. They are very compassionate. They are very much open-hearted to the sufferings in this material world, and the austerities, and the difficulties, and the challenges, and the obstructions. I can just keep on going with all kinds of words. And they're very compassionate for that. And therefore they serve Krishna to bring everyone closer and closer to Krishna. And we offer them the greatest respect. And in order to do that, we must cleanse the heart. Cleanse the heart of all the anarthas. Probably in the purport, he says that it is stated that there is a list of nam-aparads. Nam-aparads means offenses. Nam means the name of God. There's offenses that we can commit when we chant the holy names of the Lord. And so it is the desire of the devotees to overcome these anarthas, these aparads that are present within the heart. And therefore all the Vaishnavas want to learn the art of chanting the holy names with a particular type of mentality, consciousness. Let's say consciousness. We were describing this recently. I don't know where I was at. I've been to so many people's houses this last month. I've been 1 month in Houston. 1 month in Houston. And so we were describing that when we chant the holy name of the Lord, we have to have a particular type of intention. And that intention is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any motivation or ulterior motivation. We want to serve the Supreme Lord, but through the chanting of the holy name. And as we chant the holy name, I think you've heard me say this, we chant with intention to serve the Supreme Lord and attention I gave this analogy, I think you probably remember this. Attention means that we're attending to the holy name. Just like if a guest comes to your house, you attend, you offer them some water, a place to sit, this and that. You make the person very comfortable. So when we're chanting the holy names, we have to attend to Krishna's name, as if Krishna is personally present, not only as if, because Krishna is definitely present in the holy name. Nam Nama Kardi Bahujandija Sarva Shakti. All Krishna's energies, all Krishna's potencies are present within the name. The Supreme Personality of God is personally present within the name. But due to the cloudiness of our vision, we do not see Krishna present within His name. We do not understand the nature of Krishna. Shh. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. One of my friends, His Holiness Hridayananda Maharaj, was attending Harvard University to get his PhD in Sanskrit. One day he was taking a japa walk on a Sunday, and he walked in, he saw this beautiful old church, and he walked in, and the sermon was going on, and there was a guard, and said, "You cannot go in when somebody is speaking, because this disrupts the consciousness of the room." Everybody's quiet now. Right? What's more important? What's more important? To hear or to talk? Of course, I'm talking. So I think it's very important. But we have to have that type of respect when we enter the temple. This is Krishna's house. This isn't our house. This isn't our place to play. This is Krishna's place. And we enter in with the mood of service, that we serve the Supreme Lord. So going back to the holy name, with intention and attention, we attend to the holy name. And in order to do that, we have to practice. We have to learn the rules and regulations. Although the Nama Kori Bahuja Nija Sarva Shakti Tatarpita Niyamita Smaranaina, there are no hard and fast rules for chanting the holy name, but there's so many hard and fast rules. This is Lord Chaitanya's inconceivable Achintya Veda Veda, oneness and difference. There are no rules. Just like when we first began the Hare Krishna movement, the devotees weren't even told of the regulative principles unless they read Prabhupada's books. He just said, chant Hare Krishna. He didn't tell them no illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. He just told them to chant Hare Krishna. Then slowly the rules and regulations came. Because he knew that if someone wants to chant, I think I've explained this before, that when you chant Hare Krishna, you get a little bit of momentum, you get a little bit of mercy, and therefore you want to know, how can I chant Hare Krishna better? Therefore you learn about the rules and regulations, and you follow the rules and regulations, and you get more from the chanting. And when you get more from the chanting, you want to follow more regulation. You want to do it with better precision, become more expert in your occupation as a servant of the Lord's holy name. So along with Shiva Yatri, I got a very unique request that I should speak on Shiva Yatri and the Japa retreat at the same class. They said somehow or another blend it together. I didn't know I was a Hamilton blender. Maybe they think I'm a Vitamix. But because His Holiness Giriraj Swami, I think we got enough room right now. You can just move forward a little bit, everybody, because there's a few more people coming in. We don't want to make Chaitanya get too worked up here. If you have a little space in front of you, take it. And so in order to achieve the blessings that we seek when we serve Lord Shiva, to get Krishna, in the same way we serve the holy name, in order to cleanse the heart. Chaitadarpana marjanam bhavamahagni navarpanam, that we're cleansing the heart to the scrub. We're cleansing the heart of all the anarthas, all the unwanted things. Cetadarpana marjan bhavam mahan univarpanam. This cycle of repeated birth and death that we're stuck in can be achieved when one learns the art of chanting Hare Krishna. And it is a privilege to be in the environment of the holy name. Recently I don't know if I gave it in this class. I hope I'm not repeating different things that happened to me over and over again to the same crowd. But I had a wonderful visit with one devotee, and they were saying that their chanting of Hare Krishna, we chant prescribed number of rounds. I was reading about this today, that there is a fixed number of rounds which is recommended because that fixed number of rounds gives us a type of determination and confidence that we can achieve certain things, and it builds our confidence. In modern terms, spiritual self-esteem. Spiritual self-esteem, because we have accomplished something. I said we may not even feel any joy, or we not feel any effect like happiness or like seeing the gopis and Krishna and the cowherd boys dancing, but at least if we finish our prescribed number of rounds, we'll feel the satisfaction of accomplishing something that we know is recommended by Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And accomplishing that will give us a sense of value. And with that sense of value, we'll be able to continue our determined effort to practice Krishna consciousness with more and more concentration and determination. So in a few weeks, somebody tell me the date, the 12th through the 14th, I believe? 13th to the 15th of March, we're going to have a japa retreat given by His Holiness Ramapad Maharaj. Vatsal Prabhu is coming, and Shama Sundar are coming. Radha Krishna Prabhu. I got this like, it's almost like having a personal Siri. Will be giving us their realizations. I don't give realizations. Like me and Giri Raj Swami, His Holiness Giri Raj Swami, were together one time, and he said, I realized. I said, Maharaj, I never have realizations. He says, really? I said, yeah, realizations means that it's fixed and it can't change. A realization is something that's like a permanent fixture. I said, have a lot of thoughts. Have many thoughts. So the idea is that if we associate with these people that share their understanding, I'll give it a different word, their understanding, I'll use the word realizations, their experiences that they have encountered in decades. You take a look, Ramapad Maharaj, 4 or 5 decades of chanting the holy names. You add them all together, there's a couple of centuries, almost 2 centuries of chanting of the holy name, experiences. Because sometimes devotees will come to me, Maharaj, when I chant Hare Krishna this, and when I chant this and that, they'll share their experiences with you. And they'll empathize with your struggle. And when you have someone that's sharing the experience with you, you'll feel some camaraderie, you'll feel some shelter in that association. And as we feel the shelter and the association of the Vaishnavas, it's like Giridhari, holding up the mountain and protecting the inhabitants of Vrindavan. They felt no hunger, they felt no thirst, they felt no tiredness. Because they were under the shelter of Krishna. And when we take the shelter of the Vaishnavas, as we are describing today, the Vaishnavas like Lord Shiva, they're worshipable. Every Vaishnava is worshipable. When we take the shelter of the Vaishnavas and learn what they have gained through the process of chanting Hare Krishna, we also gain that. So I employ everyone here. Is that the word, employ? Huh? Anyway, I just request. What can I do? I can't remember words. Anyway, please, if you have... Implore. Thank you, Rasa Kendra. Anyway, I won't tell you. You have to get a PhD in aeronautical engineering to understand English. Hard struggle for existence that the young man had to undergo. So if you have the opportunity to attend this japa retreat, a retreat. Huh? It's meant. We're meant. It's a retreat. We're retreating. In other words, we've been on the battlefield of the material energy, struggling and struggling and struggling so much. Now we're just going to retreat. Okay, I surrender. I don't want to fight that battle anymore. Let me retreat. And Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Let me take a little break. Let me take a little break from pounds, shilling, and pence, as Srila Prabhupada would say. Let me take a little break from the effects of the material energy. Of course, if you have a detachable mind, leave it out the door. If you have to bring your mind with you, please allow it a chance to just silence and just hear. Because if we can only hear the advice given by the Vaishnavas, those whose hearts are surrendered to Guru and Krishna, we have such an opportunity. And again, I was saying to this one visitor I had, that it's not another thing that we have to do. The chanting of Hare Krishna, our prescribed number of rounds, is just not another thing on our to-do list. The chanting of the holy name is an actual privilege. It's an honor to be able to chant the holy name. We have to have respect for everyone who's come to the point in their spiritual sojourn where they're allowed the opportunity to chant the holy names of the Lord and learn the art of cleansing the heart of all the contamination that has been there for millions and millions of lifetimes. So please, please, please take advantage. I remember one time many, many years ago when we were in that other building, I said, please come take advantage of our temple. And I said, you ever experience anybody coming up to you and say, please take advantage of me? Nobody ever said. If somebody ever came out, take their wallet, their car, their cows, no, I wouldn't do that. But we say, please come and take advantage of what we're offering here. We are here to serve. We're here to serve each and every one that enters this temple, that enters this holy place, to gain more and more spiritual consciousness or advancement in spiritual life. So, in honor of Lord Shiva and at the request of the temple japa retreat managers, I think it's my friend and his family and others are putting. Yeah, he won't take any credit. Devotees, I have to send everybody the TED talk on how to accept appreciation. It's a tough one. So please, everyone, take advantage, and I hope to see you soon, okay? Hare Krishna. Oh, how do I say it? Rtadhvaja, right? So Rtadhvaja just asked me to make a personal advertisement for my morning. I send out a little 2-3 minute japa encouragement or spiritual encouragement for our daily use. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to listen to. If you would like to receive that, you see Rtadhvaja, you give him your phone number for WhatsApp. You'll be put on the list within 1 or 2 days. And if you don't like it, you can be deleted too, don't worry. You don't have to stay. It's just an invitation. Many devotees are requesting me to get more and more involved in helping people with this japa process. So if you'd like to be on the 2-3 minute morning, welcome to the japa heaven. Yeah? Welcome to japa heaven. Okay. And here comes our temple announcer, Srirag. Chirag. I always call him Srirag. Maybe someday.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. His Holiness Rtadhvaja Maharaj. So many of you probably don't know this. So Rasikendra Prabhu shared this information with me. So with Maharaj's permission, maybe I'll share a little bit. Rtadhvaja means the flag of truth, which is another name for Lord Shiva. So that's very appropriate that Maharaj is here with us on the day that we glorify Lord Shiva. One of the 11 Rudras, names of Rudra. So I didn't know until Rasikendra Prabhu educated me what Maharaj's name actually means and what's today's Sunday feast cooking is done by Sashimukhi Devi and Murari Manohar Prabhu and whole bunch of devotees that I have not been yet given the names of, so we appreciate each and every one of you. Our kirtan will be dedicated for our long-term member Arunbhai Kothari's brother-in-law not doing so well. So Mr. Hasmukhbhai Makkati, his well-being. Also another devotee's son, Bhavesh and Pia, and their son Nisharg is recovering from surgery as well. So we dedicate our kirtan for both of these people's well-being and quick recovery. Anyone here for the first time? Maharaj asked that question earlier. We welcome each and every one of you. Our newcomer ambassador today is Mahesh Prabhu. Mahesh Prabhu. Prema Vinodini Devi. She is our newcomer ambassador. And as you leave today, be sure to stop at the front desk and collect a gift. Today is Mother Shama Vallabhi's birthday. So if you see her, she may be hiding, but Shama Vallabhi Mataji is Shama Sundar Prabhu's wife. She has been providing her service to our temple forever that I remember. So at least 25 years that I have been coming to the temple, I have seen Mother Shama Vallabhi in very many different roles. Pujari service, cooking service, decoration service, you name it, Mother Shama Vallabhi has been here. So if you see her, be sure to wish her a happy birthday. Tomorrow is His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami, Srila Gurudev, Disappearance Day festivities. Our program here starts at 7 in the evening, right, along with the Arati at 7 o'clock. And I'm hoping and praying Maharaj will be here. And Keshavadi Maharaj will be here too. So we will be having the program after the Arati in Gauranga Hall. Many of you, most of you know Tamala Krishna Goswami or Srila Gurudev. He was very, very, very instrumental in all of us being here in this beautiful temple. So we'll sing Maharaj's glory tomorrow on his disappearance day. Gaura Purnima, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, is March 9th, which is a Monday. That day, we need some volunteers to do our decoration. Madhavi Gopi Devi here somewhere? If you'd like to volunteer to help us decorate the altar, please let me know and I'll connect you to Madhavi Gopi Devi. Our cultural program for Gaura Purnima is on March 22nd. Maharaj told you about Japa retreat with His Holiness Ramapad Swami Maharaj, March 13, 14, and 15. There are few registrations still left, and Radha Vallabh Prabhu will be happy to help you register yourself. Children 5 and under are free, but everyone else who is participating in our Japa retreat will need to be registered. If you're not, you may be asked to leave and chant outside in the yard. We won't do that, but you know what I mean, right? Prasadam is probably the key thing, but you must please register because we have to plan and prepare for the accommodation and what all is needed. So logistically, it's a challenge, and therefore we ask you to do your registration. Ramanavami, Lord Rama's appearance day, is April 2nd. April 2nd is a Thursday. I'm getting old. I believe April 2 is Thursday. Because, okay, so it's not that bad, right? So April 2, Thursday, confirmed. So that's the actual day we're having a program here. Part of the festivities on April 5th, which is a cultural festival day, is a Ramayana quiz contest. Children 7 and 14 are encouraged to participate in this very special quiz. Today, Damodar Rati Devi will be available in Gauranga Hall in person to do your registration. You must have group of 5 to do registration for your group. She will give you all the information. There is no cost to register, but the deadline to register for the quiz is March 20. Madhava Charan Prabhu will be chanting the kirtan today. While we are chanting the kirtan, each and every one of you is encouraged to come and offer flower petals to Lord Shiva during the Arati. We're also doing Arati here for Lord Shiva. So gentleman makes one line, ladies makes another line.
Gentlemen on this side,
Ladies on this side. Just like how you see Krishna. Gentlemen on that side, ladies on this side. Please don't rush because there's plenty of petals here. Haribol.
So come and get the petals here and then offer. The petals are not going to come to you.
When you offer the petals, make sure you don't accidentally leave the petals on the floor. The marble floors do not like flower petals, so make sure you only take a few petals that you will be offering on the table in front of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. Lord Shiva ki jai.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Nobody singing? Sing, go, go. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine.
Second mic is in there. It's in there. The second. Where Shiva is coming.
Oh. Play Hartal then. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. At least now people are singing.